On the night of June 1st, 2016, the Seattle Times hosted a meeting on fully funding education. Unlike the usual panel presentation of partisan differences, this panel was in a fishbowl format, and dynamic facilitation was used to stimulate group progress. One conclusion evolved through the conversation.
We need to have some kind of an agreement on what is the definition of basic education and what is the state's responsibility. And if we can agree on that, then we talk about how we pay for that. And once we agree on what the state's responsibility is and how to pay for it, then we talk about what we do with the levies.
I have fought for funding for education for 20 years. And what we keep doing is talking about the money without talking about our solution, our vision for the future, a shared view of how kids should exit the system and enter their lives, right? And until we do that, we can talk about money and how much it should be and we want it to be and how selfish some people are and how not selfish other people are till we're blue in the face. So if we always talk about money all the time, then all we're going to get is compliance. The legislature is going to do compliance not because that's what they want to do, but because all of us, that's all we're going to make them do. It's us, this room and way beyond this room, that across the state who has to have a shared vision. And
10 billion, 9 billion, is that 4 billion? But the fact of the matter is that the funding conversation is much more comfortable than the actual conversation of what we value in education, which is, do we value an educational system that is equitable and excellent for each and every child in the state? Or do we value an educational system that is okay for some kids and really good for kids that look like most of my panel members? And I think that's a really hard conversation for us to have anywhere. But I think it's an important conversation for us to have because as we're putting more money into the McCleary decision, or as we're putting more money because of the McCleary decision, our opportunity gap is getting bigger.
I just wanted to roll up. I'm hearing two separate conversations here. The first is that we have a compliance bias in the legislature. We're focused on complying with the McCleary ruling.
Okay.
But there's a larger conversation here. I think in the compliance conversation we can talk about equity and fairness, and we can set up a system that's more equitable across the board about how we fund schools. But Kelly's point, I think, is one we don't want to miss, is that there's a growth strategy here, too. How do we improve our schools? And how do we put together a value proposition to voters that will encourage them to go out there and provide additional funding for our schools with measurable student outcomes? And that's a conversation I want to have that's completely separate of McCleary.
Okay. So I wonder, I wonder if we can start having that parallel conversation, the vision, how to do it equitably, considering some shifts that need to be made, at the same time as we still need to find the dollars. The total dollar, if we did the quick math on the different model, is that going to be $4 billion? Is it going to be $8 billion? I mean, we still need to find more money. So I would really love to have both of those conversations moving forward, not have one or the other stop us, because it is all about the kids and it's all about the vision.
If you are interested in helping convene this statewide We the People conversation, please contact us at the Center for Wise Democracy and info@wisedemocracy.org.